All right, so someone asked to do 613 and debugging 6.4. So let's get to it. See. Wait for this to load up. Hmm. Looks like this is one of the ones I've done before. Uh, Actually, I didn't even realize that because I didn't look at it before. Okay. Um, okay. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. Let me move this aside. So I'm gonna do it from scratch. All right. The question says create a class named purchase. Each purchase contains an invoice number, amount of sale, and amount of sales tax. Include set and get methods for the invoice number and sale amount. Within the set methods for the sale amount, calculate the sales tax as 5% of the sale amount. Also include a display method that displays the purchase details. Next, create the blah. Okay, let's deal with the purchase before we go to create purchase. So I'm gonna call this purchase or Java. Okay, so my class is gonna be called purchase, and I have invoice number, sale amount, and sales tax. Okay, public class that. Invoice number, what is my invoice number? What data type is that? Okay, since it's a number, let's keep it as a long copy. Sale amount. Let's keep this as a double. We also do have a third one called tax. And since tax is a function of sale amount, we'll keep tax as well as double. Yes. And we're supposed to do setter getters for this, setters and getters for the first two. So public void set invoice number. Since we are setting, we have to pass something in. One I. Now we can call that invoice number equals to I. Public long set invoice number, and I'll get invoice number. invoice number, return invoice number. Okay. Then public void set sale amount, sales, yeah, so sale amount. Since we are setting it, we have to pass a value in double. We can call that SA. And then sale amount equals to SA. All right. Then the getter public. We are returning sale amount, so that's double. Get sale amount where it's a getter, so it doesn't take anything. And we'll simply return sale amount. Complaining about that. Why is it complaining about that? I shouldn't be complaining. I'm saying return sale amount. That's strange that it's complaining about that. Let me see. Let me compile it and see. Java C, purchase, so Java. Yeah, so it's fine. It didn't tell us anything about constructors, so I'm not gonna create any constructor. If I don't create a constructor for it, it will have the default constructor created automatically. All right. Oh, it said we should calculate tax as 5%. So when you set sale amount, we should say tax equals to SA times 5% is 0.05, right? So to send this the tax. And let's quickly test it. Normally we don't need to create a public a main method for this class because this class is really considered a data class because the create purchase class is the one that will run our application. But so that we can quickly test this one, surely that the taxes are calculated properly. Let's say let's create public void name. We'll remove it later. Public static void main string adds. So let's create a new instance of our purchase class. We call it purchase equals to new purchase. Let's call p.set. Let's set sale amount to be 55.5, something like that. And p.set invoice number. Just for the sake of it, let's call that 111L. Right, a 111. Oh, I think there's a display thing too. It says also include a display method that displays the purchase detail. So we want a display method that displays exactly this, something like that. So if I come here, public void display, it just displays, it doesn't take anything, it doesn't return anything. So it's gonna be something like the system.out.println. And this is what we want to display. This is our string. So we'll say invoice number, and we want to replace that with invoice number, right? Let me put double quotes there. Okay. So invoice number, invoice hashtag, then the invoice number, the plus sign for concatenation, amount of sale. We want to put that there. And that will be sale amount, right? And tax. That will be tax. So this is just printing our string the way we're given. The literal string invoice hashtag, then they wanted to, concatenate it with the invoice number, space, amount of sale, dollar sign, concatenated with the sale amount, space, tax, dollar sign, concatenated with the tax. So now we can come down here and say p.display. Let's see, 2385 408120. 2385 is our invoice number. That doesn't bother me much. It's a sale tax. I want to be sure. 40 sale amount is this. Copy. So in this case, we're just testing it out. We'll still create the create purchase class. All right. So we Java purchase. This is invoice number 2385, amount of sale 4081, tax 204.06400002. All right, cool. So that's that. All right, so we've done this first part. I'm just going to comment this out because we do not need, like I said earlier, we do not need the main function in method in this class. Okay. All right, so we're good with the purchase. Now, next, create an application called create purchase that declares a purchase object and prompts the user for purchase details. When you prompt for an invoice number, do not let the user proceed until a number between 1,000 and 8,000 inclusive has been entered. When you prompt for a sale amount, do not proceed until the user has entered a non-negative amount. After a valid purchase object has been created, display the object invoice number, sale amount, and sale tax, like that, just like that. All right. So want to add the user, enter invoice number, enter sale amount. Let me copy this because those strings are going to be important, I guess. The next one is want to create, what's it called? It's called create purchase. So new file, create purchase. I think in, I mean, I'm creating, I think it comes with the homework ordinarily, but because I just don't want to use this, what I've done before, so I copied the original create purchase into CP. That's why I'm recreating purchase as a file directly. The other thing I could have done was I could have gone to the companion and I could say reset exercise, which will wipe out all the stuff I did before. But I just didn't do that. I actually didn't think about that. So public class create purchase. That's my class. Okay. Now, because this guy is going to run the application, we need our name, public static void name, string. Oops, okay. All right. I have something copied in the clipboard. I'm just gonna put it here because I'm gonna need it later. And so somehow when I was deleting my space, I moved my companion from just being on this side itself. I think there's definitely a way to reset it, but anyway. So um so the question says what? Ask the user for purchase detail. Okay. When you prompt for an invoice number, do not let the user proceed until a number between 1,000 and 8,000 has been entered. Okay, a number between 1,000 and 8,000. All right, so we can do this. We can say, we can do it in two ways. We can use a do loop, we can use a while loop. I'm going to use a do loop in this case. So invoice number, first thing, that's invoice. So long if num equals to 0. So here I'm going to say do, and my condition is while if num less than 1,000 or invoice number greater than 8,000. Because we are told that we should not let the user continue unless the user enters a number between 1,000 and 8,000 inclusive. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying, well, we're going to start with invoice number equals to 0. Then I'm saying do whatever is in this block. We're going to see what we put in that block. As long as or while invoice number is less than 1,000 or it is greater than 8,000. So if the user enters 10, we'll still be doing this while loop, do while loop. If the user enters 1,000, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, then we break out of the do loop. So what we want to say is, we want to say a system that out the print line enter invoice number. Oh, we need our scanner. I didn't bring the scanner in. Oops. Okay. All right. So import Java the util.scanner, to get stuff from users. And then public, no. What's it called? Scanner. Let's call it scan equals scanner, new scanner. And we're going to pass system.in to it. We pass system.in to scanner because that's where it's going to be reading from. System.in correlates to our terminal or what's it called? Yeah, our terminal. That's where you enter stuff. So the scanner will take, basically we're telling scanner to take over the input channel of the terminal. Your terminal has 3 channels: the input, the output, and then the error output. Most of the time, you will see the input and the output, system.in and system.out, but there's also system.err. All right, so here we say enter invoice number, and then we need to say inv number equals scan next int. Do we want to make it an int? Do we want to make it a long? I think I defined, yeah, I defined it as a long. So let's do next long. All right, so let's try this. Let's try. I'm just gonna do system.out.println. You entered, so when we enter a valid invoice number, we'll break out of the loop and then you will see it. All right, let's Java C, create purchase. Oh, okay, well, semicolon. Okay, so Java, create purchase, enter invoice number. Watch this. It should be on the same line, right? So what I need to do is, instead of system.println here, I just need to do system.print. So I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna recompile it. Okay, then let's run it now. So it's now on the same line. There's something I did again that I don't like. There's no space between the arrow, the greater than sign and the user input like this. Okay, but I'm not doing it because of that recompile. The next time we run it, we'll see that. So let's say my invoice number is 15. Enter invoice number. Let's say I do 9,000. Let's say I do 100. All right. Now, if I do 2,000, that's what we expect. Because once it's between 1,000 and 8,000, both inclusive, you should accept it and then move on to the next task. All right. So the next task is when you prompt for a sale amount, do not proceed until the user has entered a non-negative value, right? So it's the same concept. All right. Let me put double sale amount equals to 0.0. Let me start out with, let me just do 1.0, negative 1.0. All right. Now, down here, after that, I'm going to do exactly the same concept as what I have between lines 17 and 22. So do, and that's going to be while sale amount less than 0.0. The thing here is enter the non-negative value. My guess here is, I mean, in math circles, you can argue whether 0 is positive or negative or all that stuff. But for this purpose, I'm just going to assume anything less than 0 is negative. Okay. So system, we can copy and paste, right? Can do that pretty easily. Copy. Enter sale amount. Sale amount. Next, I'm not sure if the copy and paste was actually worthwhile, but anyway, so sale amount scan double. Let's do the same thing here. You're gonna do this as well. You entered Okay. Paste. Why is it saying you can't read from the browser's clipboard? I've been copying and pasting all afternoon long. Wow. Okay. Invert sale amount. I guess the computer has a mind of its own, and it chooses to use it when it likes. Let's get out of this. Okay. Cool. So, all right. Let's run this. Let's test our false 1555. We good. That should be good. Enter sale amount, negative 55, negative 99, negative 1. Let's do 25, right? That. So the moment we entered the valid one. All right. So that's really, I mean, we've captured our sale amount, we've captured our invoice number. Now the thing is we need to create our purchase and display. So purchase P equals to new purchase. I'm calling it P. You can call it anything you like. There's no hard and fast rule, just something that makes sense. So we have P there. And then now we can do P dot set invoice number. We pass inv num to it. P dot set sale amount. We pass sale amount to it. Then we can do P dot display. And that should be it. Now, I'm going to comment this intermediate output that I put there just to explain what's going on. I'm going to comment them out because I believe they will throw it off the unit tests that the companion uses to, to grade the distance automatically. So the first one is what? 2385. Invoice number 2385. 4081.28. 204, okay. Oh, by the way, in my purchase, so I'm using I want to use system.println line here. I'm changing it from system.out.print to system.out.println because I want you to print all of this on a line and then move the cursor to the next line. That way, what I'm seeing here, like it printed, and then my command prompt is here. I don't like that. Let me do that again. Let me compile. So that's 2385.4081.28. See how my command prompts came to the bottom rather than continuing here. All right, so what happens if I try to do this? So calculate grade. That's taking a while. So one other thing, as it is right now, because I actually did everything before running those guys one by one. The other thing I could do is after creating the purchase class, I can come and I could run this task and see pass or fail. If I were to click on any of these other ones, right now it's going to complain that no change is detected. What you could do if you run into such a scenario is just put an empty line somewhere. It's just telling you that there's no change detected in your code, and as such, whatever it's done before is what it's gonna do. So now if I try to run this one, it will run because which one? I just added an empty line. So it feels like the file changed, even though I mean, I didn't change anything meaningful. So if I run this, and let's see, calculate grade gave me 100 because of course that was what the work needed. So let me run this. See how it said no changes detected in the programming file. That's just because of, let me see, let me close this one. If I do this, same thing, no changes detected in the programming file. But if I were to come in here and remove the line I just added, and then if I run it again, now it's running. All right. All right, so that is I think that's 6.13. Let me see, was that 6.13? Yeah, 6.13. The other one is debug. This is still running. The other one is debug 6.4. The second one passed, the first one passed. I mean, like, wait, this didn't pass. How come? But then it gave me 100. Let's see what the purchase class contains set invoice number and get invoice number methods. Unable to locate the set invoice number method. Aha. Okay, so this is the deal. This is int. This is int. That's just okay. But I was, of course, using them as double. So if I do it's not going to allow me to do find and replace. All right, so let me just, no, that's double. The problem is the invoice number. It should be int. Copy. So invoice number should be int. Paste. Oh, it's still not allowing me to do that. All right. Int. So I had invoice number as long before, but it's expecting it to be an int. Then that also means I have to fix my, and this has to be next int. And that should be fine. So if I run this one again, because what it was looking for here is purchase set invoice number int. I want this one to finish. There was an issue compiling the Java file. That's interesting. Which one? Let me recompile. Maybe there was one that I did not. Okay. Oh yeah, makes sense. And purchase, yeah, this should just be 0, not 0L. L indicates long, but since I changed it to int, I should remove the L there as well. So makes sense. That is still running. I'm going to put another, let me remove another space and then try to compile this, try to run that. Just gonna remove this, then try to run this and remove this and then try the last one. Yeah, that's because I did too. I ran this. This one is finished. This is still running. I'm surprised what this third test is doing. It's taking a long time. Let me try this. Let me space something. Okay, this all these are finished. Okay, this third one passed too now. All right, so we're good with that. Gonna leave that. Uh, debugging 6.4. Let's see, where's debugging 6.4? This guy here. I need to close this out because if I don't, it's going to struggle. Well, first have to close my code space. Doesn't allow me to run multiple code spaces at the same time. So it's because I just closed that other one. Yeah. Now it's restarting a new one for this one. All right. Display the midpoint between and including user specified values. Well, it says if the files provided in the code editor contain syntax and or logic errors in each case. Determine and fix the problem. Remove all syntax and coding errors and run the program to ensure it works properly. An example of the program is shown below. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's scan through this real quick. Do we see any obvious syntax error? Public class debug6.4. Public static void main, string args, int. No, okay. Double half midpoint, scanner input, new scanner in, enter a number. Well, this is that's a syntax error. It should be input.next int. Enter a number. Low is what? Low is an 8. Okay, so next int. Enter a larger number. Input that line, okay? Then here we're saying while low is less than high. That's interesting. System.out print line. The number you entered for a high number, high, is not more than low. That doesn't make sense. And here we said while low is less than high. If low is not less than high, it will not enter this block. But in this block, we're saying the number you entered for a high number, high is not more than low. So it tells me that this is wrong. This should be while low greater than high. Actually, greater than or equal to high. Okay, because basically they want to make sure that the low number is low and the high number is high. Basically, the low number is smaller than the high number. Then here it says enter a number higher than low, right? How many between high minus low? Half. How many between high minus low divided by 2? Midpoint is low plus half. System dot out dot print line midpoint is halfway between low and high. All right, let's see. Half and midpoint are double. I believe this should be 2.0, but let's compile first. Java C, debug. Oh, okay, that's true. I didn't pay attention to that. So this is for public static void main. So this while loop, it's not allowing me to collapse it. Well, this open parenthesis is for this close parenthesis. Now, this close parenthesis is for this open parenthesis. That means this parenthesis is not balanced. So we're missing one here. All right. And that's the first thing the compiler picked out. So the compiler says it's good now. But let's see, the logic might still be not fully correct, but at least we know from a syntax perspective, we're good. Now let's try to run it. Java. That. So let's do 56. Enter a large number 111. 83.0 is halfway between 56 and 11. Good. Now let's run it again. Now let's flip it. 111 and 56. The number you entered for a high number 56 is not more than 111. Enter a number higher than 111 because we're trying to trick it. So I'm going to enter 222. And then it says 166 is halfway between 111 and 222. All right, so if we try to run that, let me find some way to put an empty space. I can run the second one. And then let's recalculate grid while we're at it. I think running multiple of these tasks too is not helpful, but we'll just leave it like that. Oh, okay. It's complaining about task 2. Let's see what happens there. Let me see why task 2 failed. The debug6 program accepts user input and displays the correct output. Reason, in this simulation, the input values are 56 and 111. 83.5 is the halfway between 56 and 111. Unable, trying to make this wider. Unable to what? Unable to find 83.5. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly what is going on there. Saying 83.0 makes sense. And that's what I thought before. This is just data conversion things. So how many between is an int? And we are dividing that by 2. What happens in that situation is we lose precision. So instead of it to return 83.5, it's going to return 83. We are saying the dot zero for simply for the mere fact that, where's the math? Yeah, line 24. For the mere fact that half itself is double. Half is a double, right? That's why we are saying the dot zero. But the result of this arithmetic is an integer. Integer divided by an integer will return an integer. We need to force this guy to return a double. So that has to be 0.0, 2.0. So if you see 56, 111, it's 3.5. Come on, what can I select? There we go. I'll just stretch it out. All right, let's try that again. Calculate grade again. Oh wait, what's the other one? The input values are 23. Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be the same scenario or similar scenario. Basically, the issue was the fact that we were dividing an integer by an integer, which will always return an integer. So we lose the decimal point in our result. And in reality, when you do 111 minus 56, that's what? That's 55. So that's an odd number. When you divide that by 2, 27 is what it returned because you're doing integer division. But if it's divided by 2.0, then it returns 27.5. And now it passes. And this guy is still calculating. But anyway, this guy's still calculating, but the 2 passed. So I want to bet it will also return 100. Should I wait? Should I wait for this to finish? Anyway, so that's for the 2 of them. This is 6.4 debugging, and the other one was 6.13. What's that one called now? Programming exercise 6.13. And good, we got our 100. All right, I hope this helps somebody.